Hello everyone, I am Doodlemans86 and today I'm finally going to be reviewing the Godzilla Kong the New Empire Playmates Suko with Titanus Doug. Finally, after so long, finally found it at a Target, and this was the only one, and I've been going to that Target since then and not once have I seen these guys come back up. So not gonna lie, I think Doug is a little rare. Either that or people really like him, which isn't a surprise because he is such a goofy little funny guy. So let's start off this review by looking at the packaging. Taking a look at the packaging, you can see it's just the same old, same old. The colorful pinks with the lightning of Hollow Earth, the sick Godzilla and Kong renders with the yellow warning labels, the Playmates, yada yada. We've seen this all over before. And of course we have an actual picture with the figures. And of course with the packaging is this little funny plastic piece which actually carries the rock. So I recommend you keep that because that's pretty useful because it is easy to lose the rock. So now let's get to the figures. First up, we'll be looking at Suko and then his accessory and then Doug. So here we have little Suko, and he is quite a small figure. I will show him in the size comparisons a little later and see how big he is. But he is pretty small. He's like the size, he's basically the size of my thumb, as you can see. But yeah, the detail and paint on him is pretty good. He looks awesome, really. Is he accurate to the film? Yeah, this is as accurate as you can get. Honestly, I don't need him to be 1000% accurate. He looks like Mini Kong, as he is called. Kind of funny that he's called Suko with the figures, but not in the actual movie, so yeah. Of course, he has the scar across his eye and his beautiful green eyes, his little baby face, his orange fur, his chubby little build, and all the fur detail. Of course, you have his back, then you have his little legs. Yep, tiny little legs, and his gray skin. So yeah, he looks fantastic. He looks great. And now that we're here, we will also jump into articulation. And he is the best one of the whole wave. And I'm going to show you why. So first up, we have a swivel at the head. Then we have a swivel hinge combo for the shoulders. And then we have a swivel hinge combo for the elbows. And then for the wrists, we have a swivel. And then at the waist, we have a swivel. Goes 360, buttery smooth too. Then we have swivel hinge combo for the hips. We have a knee hinge. And then we have ankle swivels. He is the smallest figure in this whole wave, and he has the best and most articulation. Not even Kong had ankle swivels. Not even Scar King. Scar King had a waist swivel that Kong didn't have, and now we have Suko beating both of them. The fact that he's the most posable for his tiny size is crazy. And he can pull off some really nice poses too. Like he can pull off the superhero landing pose. Like, did you guys see that? That only took me like a second. Like, that is actually insane. This is such a great figure. And he is such a nice looking little guy. And pretty accurately sized too. So now we have the little rock, which is just a little tan rock. So yeah, if you've seen the movie, he does throw rocks in the final battle, and of course he can carry it. Well, okay, he could carry it. But yeah, he can carry it. So yeah, that's a great accessory. Really great figure overall. Now we get to the star of the show, Doug. Finally got Doug after so long. So looking at this guy's sculpt, he looks pretty great. We saw him in the GVK film for a few seconds, and we didn't really see his whole body, but we did in GXK. And I gotta say, it looks pretty accurate. And of course, they had to basically add him so that they could basically, keep the price at $9 and so that Suko wasn't lonely. Of course, we have that cute little funny goofy face. Just look at his goofy face. They even painted the inside of the mouth, which is so great to see. He has his teeth and his eyes. Really fat build. He's got a six-pack, don't he? And of course, he has his stubby little legs with crocodilian-like armor and scales. His little fingers. He has spikes on the back, and of course he has these scales in between. And he has a tiny little thin tail with rows of spikes, and these segmentations are really cool. So yeah, that is so awesome to see. He is such a great little guy. So for articulation, he has a swivel at the neck, swivels at the shoulder and hips, and then he has a really nice ball joint tail. So that is the articulation for Doug. Overall, I'm really pleased with the colors. The appearance. He looks great, moves great, and he can also do this. Doug coming at ya. Getting into sizes, as you can see, Suko is basically 3 inches, while Doug is even smaller than that. So now that we'll get into the size comparisons, here they are standing next to the rest of the Playmates figures. Finally completing the 6-inch collection until more figures are announced. Here they are, standing next to the Monster Arts and the Haya figure. So in terms of size accuracy, they're pretty great. They stand next to other figures pretty well. So for $9.99, is this figure set worth it? Definitely. We're finally getting a Doug figure, which is just so great to add to an already filled shelf of Monsterverse figures. Just a neat addition. As you guys can tell, I'm completely in love with Doug. Speaking of Suko though, I'm not sure if Monster Arts or Haya is gonna make a Suko, but honestly, I don't really care if they do because the Playmates one is just fine. You get a little rock accessory, he's super posable, and he comes with Doug. So honestly, I'm fine with this, and this is all I ever needed in the world. If I had to say, these two are easily the best Playmates figures without a doubt. They're the best sculpt and paint we've seen, and the best articulation and Doug. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.